Welcome to episode number 143 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us, Geeks on Tour. Our beginner's lesson is, well, we don't have a beginner's lesson today. We're just going to be talking about our recent scuba trip to Bimini and how we use Google Photos for video and sharing.
Yeah, we weren't thinking about doing a live show today because we just got back last night and we're leaving again tomorrow. But so this will just be an informal, shorter show.
All right. That's great. Hi, I'm Jim, and together with my wife, Chris, we're Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your Android phone or your iPad tablet? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
We're geeks who teach, and we think the best way to learn is on a regular basis with just short pieces of information. So that's why we do this weekly show. All of our episodes are collected on our website, geeksontour.com.
Well, Chris, where are we now?
We're back home, but we just got here last night and we're leaving again tomorrow. So we're just going to do a short show here because we got back from a scuba trip and we just got to show you a few pictures.
It was way cool.
Yeah. So that's us, Geeks on Scuba. We went to Bimini, which is the closest island to Florida in the Bahamas. And we went with a scuba diving operation called Neil Watson's Bimini Scuba Center. BiminiScubaCenter.com. And we put together a little video. Let's play it on this and they'll be able to hear
I'm not seeing that right now. So
okay.
Why don't we do it the way we practiced? Well, it would have been better. Maybe it'd been better. Let's see if I can find that. But go ahead and bring it up on that, and I'll see if I can find it.
So this is just a 2-minute video. I used Google Photos to make it, and it obviously didn't take me very long since we just got back last night. And there is music with this, but because of the way we're displaying it, you can't hear the music. Those are lionfish, an invasive species, and so the dive masters try to kill a lot of them. Now that's a lobster, and that is a big lobster. Not allowed to catch them.
Nice green moray. Saw quite a few morays. It was fun, but this was awesome.
This turtle was the best.
This is a loggerhead turtle.
And I think it's a she. Because she had eyes for Neil. Look at that. I just loved that.
But we had 2 morning dives each day.
That's the resort.
The Big Game Club. I actually went here back in the 70s.
We had a shark dive. They're beautiful.
Yeah, Caribbean reef sharks, black nose sharks, and nurse sharks are the sharks that we saw on that dive. No hammerheads. They're already gone for the season.
And this is our group. We had 7 people, all from USA Dive Club.
That's our dive club here locally in South Florida. So when we share this, you'll be able to see the whole video.
And hear music.
Right.
Or we might make another one. We kind of made this one for the group.
So this
is sharks?
Feeding the sharks off the back of the boat just to bring them around before we jumped in. So actually they did it afterwards just to finish off the food. So
that's it. 2 minutes of video and music. Where am I supposed to be here? Made very easy with the Google Photos tools. And we have show me how videos on how to do that on our website. But the taking the underwater video, now this is someplace where I don't take pictures at all. I am not an underwater photographer, but Jim really likes taking the underwater photos. So I get to be in pictures for a change.
Yeah, my model.
So tell them what you use for your...
I GoPro Hero 5. It's in a box, and I have a red filter on it to help compensate for the loss of red in the water as you get to depth. And it has a micro SD card that it saves the video on, so I can take that out and plug it into the Chromebook that we take. It has the slot for the micro SD card there. It's a 32 gig card, and I can then copy it to the local memory here to work with it if I want to try and work with some video, or we can plug in an external hard drive. This is a terabyte hard drive that we can save all that stuff on, and it's really pretty handy. It worked really well.
So once again, we find ourselves talking about the Chromebook because it is just such a little computer, easy to take traveling. And yeah, it has the micro SD card slot, so he can get the video from his GoPro camera and put it into here. And it also has USB ports so that it can be copied to here. So now you have a backup of your videos if you should lose your camera, or if you need to wipe out the card.
Yeah, you can format it either here or in the camera and clean it off. But knowing that you have it at least in 2 other places, locally on the Chromebook and on that external hard drive, pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we want it in Google Photos. And this is something that's really pretty special about Google Photos. It stores not only pictures, but it stores video. And these are big videos.
1024 resolution is free.
Yeah.
Anything above that would count against your allotment.
So then how did we get them from so we've talked about how we got them from his camera to a hard drive. Now all we need is an internet connection, and we drag them from the hard drive up to the Google Photos website. Could we do that while we were in the Bahamas?
Not very reliably. They have internet, and we had Wi-Fi internet at the big game club there. And it was okay for emails, but it wasn't good for streaming. It wasn't good for, and that's typical of Wi-Fi in a lot of places.
The interesting thing I found was that I had better luck with the Wi-Fi on my iPad than I did on my iPhone.
I wonder if that has to do with the radios that are built into it, or just how.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the Wi-Fi radio in the iPad is better than the one in the iPhone. Now, I also have T-Mobile, which works internationally, but at 2G speeds.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember 2G? Wow.
I was using my Google Pixel XL phone, and it worked pretty good. I could even make it into a hotspot to share my connectivity on the cellular over there if the Wi-Fi wasn't good enough. And when we were out on the boat, I was able to post to Facebook a couple of times. So that was fun.
Yeah, so we did have internet, but just
barely. Not what we have become accustomed to, certainly here at home.
Yeah.
But on the road, and we're hitting the road tomorrow.
Yeah.
It'll be hit and miss as we travel. And we know that, but we also know that it's getting better all the time wherever we go.
But it is really interesting how both T-Mobile, which is what I have, and Project Fi, which is what Jim has, roams onto the local carrier. So if I look at the top of my screen where it now says T-Mobile, it said BTC.
Bahamas Telecom Corporation.
Bahamas Telecom, I assume. But as I say, with T-Mobile, it only gives you 2G speeds. No charge, but 2G, which is it's worthless.
Yeah, certainly for the internet, it's worthless.
You could send text messages.
Yeah.
that was interesting. And yours was a lot better. But if we were going to stay there any length of time, we would probably go to a BTC office and get a SIM card
For data.
For data, yeah, so that we could. But meanwhile, you know, it really is okay to be disconnected for a little while.
Yeah, it's a little disconcerting, but we weren't completely disconnected, so it wasn't too bad.
We could get and send emails. So I did answer forum questions. You know, when people ask us questions on the forum, we try to answer wherever we are. But it was also funny. We took the boat over from Miami. So it was between an hour and 2 hours ride. And on the way back, our whole group was sitting together. And once you get within range of the cell towers in Miami, everybody's phones just started beeping and buzzing and ringing.
Yeah.
We said, all right, back to reality.
Well, one of the things that's recommended for a lot of folks who are traveling overseas so they don't incur any roaming charges is to put it on airplane mode. So
or boat mode. It should be called boat mode. Yeah.
For this trip it was. Although the next time we will take the seaplane over there.
Yeah.
That sounds like a cool way to go.
Yeah, you can take a plane on floats from Fort Lauderdale straight to Bimini. Well, let's see, what else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about sharing photos. So here we have a group of people, and everybody's taken photos. Jim and I probably took more than anybody, but other people took some still photos underwater, and we want to be able to see some of those. So in Google Photos, we make a shared album. And I'm just going to show you that on the computer. You know, it's on our mobile devices as well. That's the way Google Photos works, but it works the same on the website. So that's what is so cool about Google Photos. So if I go to first I want to show you how to find videos. So I can see that this one is a video. See that little triangle, which is a play, whereas this one is just a still photo. As I scroll down, I will see some that are videos because I'll see the little triangle. So, what?
You just passed a movie.
Right, and I'm going to explain that in a second.
Oh, okay.
But as long as I'm going through a video, let me go to one.
So these are a lot of the videos that I just uploaded.
Right. So for example, here's more sharks.
Now some of these were taken with my phone.
Yeah, anything above water.
Most of the stuff above water was taken with my phone, or Chris took this with her phone.
And one thing I want to show you, since this is we're kind of focused on videos here today, is that did you know that Google Photos can edit videos? Not serious editing, but trimming. So if this video, I wanted it to start when the boat clears the docks there, I can click on, okay, maybe that's just a mobile.
Yeah, you can't edit that on here, right?
Okay, and I can't show that. Can I? No. Okay, well, that's a little difficult to show, but I can. What, that camera?
Well, you can do your camera.
Okay. I'm sharing screen.
Go to camera.
All right. Hi. And let me see if I can just, yeah, you can see that pretty good, actually. Just go to full screen. Okay. So here is my iPad playing a video.
Watch out for your reflection there.
And if I tap on, well, this is the edit button right there. And now you have little white bars at either end of the video, and you can drag it in. Now you can drag in those little white bars and trim. And notice you can also rotate.
So if you take the video in a vertical or a portrait mode, you can make it into a landscape.
Yeah, yeah. So that's one thing that's pretty cool about Google Photos that that maybe you didn't know. Is you can edit, you can trim video. Okay. What else did I want to show? Oh, I know what else I wanted to show. So that was video, but what if I want to find the movie that I made, which put together video and music and stills? If you click up here in the search, notice that you can search for any kind of word. I could search for shark. I could search for scuba diving. But if you keep going down, you'll see videos. If I click on videos, then I am only seeing videos. I'm not seeing any still photos. So that helps me find what I'm looking for. But then did you notice that there's also movies? So what's the difference between a video and a movie? A movie is what Google Photos puts together. It could be made completely from still photos, or it could be combining both still photos and movies. But if I want to find that movie I made, there it is. And it does have a little bit different icon on it. It's supposed to look like a film clapper. So that's how I know where there are movies that I've made. So videos or movies. And then also know that even with movies, you can have information. I just tapped on the little I, and I can add a description. So the marina at Big Game Club. And that description will play with the movie, or you can always go in and find it. So videos, take videos. They enhance your memories so much.
They really do.
So much.
Well, I want everybody to remember that we have this live chat going on over here, and it's on the YouTube video feed. Just go ahead. That's how we knew that we didn't have any sound earlier, so we had to. That was great. But we want and we expect questions during the show, so we have something a little bit more to talk about.
All right. So now, how about sharing? We had 7 people on this trip, and we want to share our photos with them. Jim started it, so he just grabbed some photos that he wanted to share, and he made a shared album. And I can see that by going to my sharing area on Google Photos.
It's in different places on Androids and on iPhones and iPads. And,
well, it's still just the sharing
but it
button.
Is the button,
yeah.
But it might be in different spots.
Yeah, I mean, as opposed to photos or albums, don't look for them in albums. If they're not your album, you don't see them under albums. You see them under sharing.
Even if they're yours, it's easier to find them under sharing.
If you've... Really?
Mine is. Seems to be.
Okay. And he named it Bimini USA Dive.
And I invited other people in the group from our dive club to participate.
Yeah. So here are the pictures. And now let's say that I have a picture I want to add It's this little button right here that has a plus on the corner. It's covered up by a red dot at the moment because that red dot means Google Photos has some suggestions. So if I click on that, it says, here are 2 photos that we think you should add to this shared album. Well, I'm not big on that. I like to add the photo, show all photos. I like to find my own photos that I want to add. Like Google doesn't apparently think that this picture of the chairs is worthy of being added to the group.
I'm surprised she didn't find a picnic table. That's what she usually
I
puts
like
up on.
pictures of chairs and tables. It allows you to imagine yourself sitting there. So I want to add that. You start when you're viewing the shared album, you click that little button with the plus on it, then you click on a picture and you click on add.
And you probably want to deselect the ones that are up at the top.
Oops. Did I had so I've added more.
You did
than
add
I wanted
them, yeah.
to.
You added the ones that you said you did. They suggested.
Okay. Well, that's fine. And notice in a shared album, it tells whose picture it is. So it says that that picture of the chairs is Chris Gould's.
As if anyone else would.
Now, this video of the sharks is Jim Gould's. So if I want that, so the first one, adding pictures to a shared album, I call that giving. You know, if you want to give your pictures, it's adding it to a shared album. But if you want to receive somebody else's picture, so this video from Jim, I want, it's this little button right here that's a cloud and the down arrow. That means add to library. And that's how easy it is. When I click that video of Jim's, of the sharks, is now my video in my library.
And you can do anything with that you can do with any other video or picture that you took that's in your library. You can share that, and you can, so it behooves you to be judicious with what you share.
Right. So it is important to understand that sharing means giving. If you are proprietary about your pictures, then don't put them in a shared album. Now, realize that I have only shared this album, or he's only shared this album with the other people in the group.
So far.
So far, yeah. We could put that link out there, but this is probably just for the group. But giving that link to anybody with the link can see the pictures. If they join the album, that's what was up way
right.
Up
You don't even
top.
need a Google account to see the photos in a shared album. So you can share these albums publicly if you want. Right,
like we do with our, so the place where we will share the things publicly, you will see the link on our blog in the our photo albums. You know, so under our photo albums is where we put links to everything that we want to share. Okay.
So that's a great way to organize your pictures for sharing the albums.
Yeah. Shared albums makes it very, very easy.
There are really no questions right now. There's nothing going on with the chat, and I guess everybody's just spellbound with the story. And no questions.
Sharks got your tongue?
We did dive with sharks, and that was we've been diving with sharks before, and they're beautiful creatures. We love sharks. One of the really cool things that the Bahamas has done is banned shark fishing completely over there.
Oh yeah, they're protected.
They're protected species now. All of the shark species are protected, and that's just wonderful. I would like to see more sharks around.
Oh, well, one of the things that this particular dive operation is known for is for taking divers to see hammerhead sharks.
Great hammerheads.
Great hammerhead sharks.
That would be
cool, but it would maybe be too cool because the hammerhead sharks are there in the wintertime.
Yeah, they leave by
cold.
April, sometime during April, and we were there May, mid to late May. He said that there were some still kind of passing through, but interesting story about how they found the hammerheads.
Oh yeah?
Going through. Yeah, they just, because most of the diving that the folks do over there is on the reefs or the wall type stuff and the wrecks that are over there. And the hammerheads go through this sandy area, which is great for photographers.
Just open water.
Open water, but shallow, sandy. So they kind of funnel through this one area. That's how they get to see them most of the time. And there's a shark research facility now on South Bimini, and they're the ones who actually found these sharks passing through. So interesting story. But I would like to see it. They only run 10 or 12 charters to see the sharks throughout that part of the season, or a week throughout that part of the season. Apparently, we'll see. Be fun to go see it.
All right. Well, that's all we wanted to talk about, but I still have review questions
for you. Okay. What camera did I use for the underwater video?
A GoPro.
Uh-huh.
But what model of GoPro?
It's the Hero 5, and I have those Hero 5s are good, supposedly, to be submerged to 30 feet. We were going sometimes a little bit deeper. I think I got to 90 feet on one dive. And so I have a case for it, a housing for it. It's plastic housing, and I can get to the controls. It's really nice. And I have a long stick on it so I can extend that stick out. And it's
just a tiny little thing.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people know what GoPros are, but
very small action camera. And I have that because it's also my drone camera. It's the same GoPro company that has.
Yeah, and it's already packed, ready to go for the summer. So.
Yeah. How do we get these video clips to Google Photos?
All right. Well, first of all, we did have a computer, a Chromebook. Then he took the camera card out of the camera and put it in the Chromebook. From there, if we had an internet connection, we could have gone straight from the card to Google Photos online. Instead, we went to a hard drive, and then once we got home, put them online.
I like to make sure that I have a backup of these videos. Some people would just change cards and have second cards, but it's still only in one place. If it's only in one place, you don't have a
tiny little card, you could lose that
very easily. All right. Next question. How much does Google charge to store video?
Absolutely nothing.
As long as you keep the resolution to 1024
or less.
Or less, yeah. All right. What's the best internet connection in Bimini, Bahamas?
There'd be no internet, man. No internet in Bimini, man.
There was internet. It just wasn't as robust as what we're used to. It was fine for emails. It was not good enough for voice over IP calling, and it wasn't certainly not good enough for live. But I did do some Facebook posts, but not live video stuff.
Yeah.
What icon below allows adding your photos to a shared album? Chris calls that giving.
Yeah, if you want to give your photo to a group that's in a shared album, it's
the add A with the little plus on there. That's adding your photos to a shared album. And which album above?
Which icon?
Which icon above allows copying a shared photo to your own library? That's called receiving.
That is C, the cloud with the down arrow. But really, that down arrow doesn't download it to your computer. It just adds it to your Google Photos library. So all of this
and
requires...
when you hover over it with your cursor, it tells you that it's going
it just says save to library. It doesn't say download.
Okay. Let's see. We do have a question here. Chuck, let's see. Where are we?
here?
Yeah, I'm looking up there.
Oh.
She's pointing down here.
Oh.
I'm looking up there. All right. Slow day. Enjoyed hearing about your trip. Thank you. Really, I'm glad we found your channel. Very helpful though. Thank you so much. Warren, what was the Chromebook Jim was waiting to buy? It's still not out.
It's not due till July.
Right. It's an HP, and it's called the K3. I forget which one. Anyway, it has a letter designation and a letter number, and it'll be out. And it's the one Chris is looking it up here. And where would you find a key code that explains the function of Google features like the red dot you mentioned? Yeah, good luck with that.
Question.
That is a good question.
Is there just a place where all the icons are listed and identified? Not that I know of, but I will keep my eye open. That would be a good tip.
Yeah, I don't think Chris is going to be making that one, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should try. No, but they change all the time.
Do they really?
My poor Google Photos book, it just gets
push back and push back and push back.
Okay, so is it one of these?
No, you have to look for a new one or unreleased or upcoming, something like that.
Okay.
It's going to be fairly expensive. I think it starts at about $600. So we want you to become a member at Geeks on Tour. Just go to geeksontour.com and click on the Join Now. We want you to subscribe to the channel and click on the little bell there that allows you to get notifications whenever we go live. And like us on Facebook. What else? Social networking. The more you promote us, the better we do, and hopefully we're doing some good stuff.
And if you're an RVer, maybe we'll see you at one of the upcoming rallies. We leave tomorrow and we head to Missouri. So this is our map of all our rallies this year, and we've already done 1 through 8. So we're on number 9, which is up here in Missouri. That's the Escapade. And then we're going to Michigan for the Glamorama. That's a FMCA Great Lakes area motorhome rally. And then we're actually doing something weird. We have another scuba trip planned down in the Caribbean. So we're leaving our RV and flying down so we can go on a liveaboard in the Cayman Islands. Then we're off to Wyoming for the FMCA. That's number 11. Number 12 is the Safari Rally in Oklahoma. Then back to Michigan. Then down to Tennessee, Arkansas, and then we'll be back home in November.
Wow, I'm tired of just
really.
And we start tomorrow.
And we'll be doing some of our shows from the RV. Wherever we have good enough internet.
And we certainly did last year, so I expect to have it as we travel again. So why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour, Chris?
Well, number one is just because they like technology and they like to learn, and they think we can teach them. Number 2 is to ask questions on the Q&A page. They gain access to hundreds of tutorial videos, and they get written notes from this What Does This Button Do show. And the one I like, number 5, to say thank you for all the free training they get from us. So you can join at geeksontour.com/join-now.
Cool. Well, next time, we probably won't have a show next week. We might try and go live on Facebook or something. We'll be at the Escapees RV Club, the Escapade, in Sedalia, Missouri.
And I think we're actually going to be working there. I think there's something we're supposed to be doing that day, not just hanging out.
Should we do it live?
Up to you.
It's up to me, right? Okay. Well, look for us on all of our social media. Sign up for our newsletters. You'll get it there too. And let's see. Let's do it. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
We're Geeks on Tour. We'll see you next week, or we'll see you down the road. Bye-bye.
Keep pushing those buttons.